They give us a tour of all the monuments, the Veterans Memorial, the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument. Just fantastic, fantastic day. And they treated us like we were the best and the proudest of what we've done for our country.
I am Melanie Youngsman with the Lansing Journal, standing here with Josh Bootsma, our managing editor.
Hello.
We decided to take advantage of an opportunity that happened on April 10.
Yeah.
It's a welcome home for Honor Flight veterans, and these happen occasionally, and the Lansing Journal tries to be here when they do happen.
So this is the very tail end of a day that is a really long day for local veterans. So for today's kind of an atypical day, Melanie.
Right.
The greeting at Sunrise Health Foods, which is where we are right now, is not atypical, but there are 7 people that are local folks. Not all of them are from Lansing, but they are local folks, and they're going to be coming down here and going on to the American Legion. That's a large number. This is the first Honor Flight Chicago flight of the season. The Day of Honor doesn't really end at the airport. They also get honored here by the Lansing American Legion and any people from the public that show up.
The Legion Riders have a tradition of escorting the veterans. Once they arrive here, they escort them home often. Yeah. Usually it's 1, maybe 2 veterans, but because this is such a large group of Lansing veterans, the Legion Riders actually went to Midway Airport to put a flag line in place and perform that welcome there. Yeah. That's a cool ceremony too.
It is. That's not the first time that's happened. The Lansing Legion Riders have been to the airport to do that before, and we were invited some time ago, and we got some good photos of that. So we'll include a link to that story down below.
Yes. Yeah, one of the main organizers of these Honor Flight Welcome Homes is Maureen Grady-Perovich. She is currently a trustee with the village, but she's been involved with Honor Flight for long before you were a trustee.
Yes, 2013.
So what kind of goes into, when do these welcome homes start?
When did they start here?
Yeah.
Probably the year I became a trustee in 2017.
Okay.
2016
so
maybe?
It's a fairly new tradition.
Yes, that we've been doing, and our village likes to welcome our men and women home that are from Lansing, and today we have 7 of our American Legion members that are on this flight. So this is a pretty big Lansing group. We've flown over 50 Lansing veterans with Honor Flight Chicago. We've reached 10,750 veterans overall for Honor Flight Chicago. It's just wonderful. It's our chance to say thank you and to welcome these men and women home, especially those that never got the welcome.
You contact the LPD, Lansing Police Department, Lansing Fire Department, and then just members of the public, elected officials sometimes come out. So, and you don't always know what's happening at the airport or in the sky or with the weather, so there's some flexibility required.
Yes, and some of that I've been on the flights with them, so I'm able to know when we're landing and when we're getting there and when we're leaving Midway. But right now I have people up at Midway who are texting me, they're telling me that they've landed, and then they're telling me that they're leaving Midway, and then they should tell us when they get to 127th and Cicero, and then we know they're about 20 minutes away from here.
Okay.
We just came from Midway for the Honor Flight, and let me tell you, that is something that everybody should do in their lifetime. To see these guys' face and these women, the emotions that comes from them, it's just gets you right here.
A lot of the Vietnam vets that never got this when they came home.
Yes, and now they did.
We had 5 post members that attended, and 7 from Lansing tonight.
On the Honor Flight, and then we sat there or stood there and we held flags and welcomed every single one of them home.
Is this the biggest group of local veterans you've had on one Honor Flight?
It is. the biggest at one time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
That's rare. And it was cool to see them all come through the flag line there and, you know, shake their hand and welcome them back and hope they had a good day. Yeah, there's a flag line, two-sided, and they walk down the middle. And there's the bagpipers there. It's an awesome experience if you've never been there. It's something to really see. It's if you're a veteran, it's heartfelt.
Welcome back.
Well, thank you, thank you.
You've had quite a day, yeah.
Quite a great day.
Why don't you start by telling us what your rank was, what branch of service you were in?
I went in as a teenager. I was 17 years old.
Wow.
Went to Great Lakes Training Center, and from there I got transferred to the Lake Champlain. It's a helicopter marine carrier. I was on there for 2 years. We picked up the first astronaut, Alan Shepard, that came and dropped in the Caribbean area.
Wow.
And then I got transferred to the USS Enterprise. They sent me to navigation school, and I ended up being the lead helmsman on the Enterprise, the nuclear carrier. And I took it out on sea trials, and we were involved in the Cuban Missile Crisis blockade. I also met John Kennedy on board my ship. His wife was related to the captain of the Enterprise. I spent 3 years on the Enterprise. And to give us a tour of all the monuments, the Veterans Memorial, the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, just fantastic, fantastic day. And they treated us like we were the best and the proudest of what we've done for our country.
Do you have a certain memorial that was especially meaningful to you?
I really, the Vietnam Memorial, of course. You know, I wasn't in Vietnam, but I was out in the ship. You know, I was not on land. So they call it Vietnam era.
Okay.
But that was very meaningful. The names, and even Korea, the Korean monuments and the World War II. So many people sacrificed for our country.
Yes.
I couldn't imagine. I didn't imagine 670,000 of Vietnam or World War Korean War had passed. You know, when you see it, it really affects you. It's very emotional, and they treated us very good. We had hundreds of volunteers at both facilities just treating us beautiful. Respect, and
yes.
that's what they respect. The military respects. We need to respect them.
Yeah.
And some young people, when I was at Midway, they had Great Lakes. All the recruits were there, and there were hundreds, young kids. When I was 17 and I went in, young girls. So they're proud. They're still in America.
Well, thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
I'm so glad that you decided to go on honor flight.
Thank you. Well, I'm honoring my post. I'm the commander of Post 697 here in Lansing, so I have to do my part.
Right. Thank you, Ralph.
You're welcome.
Welcome
Thank you.
home,
You're
and
welcome.
we sure appreciate your service.
Thank you.
We just want to be able to give back to our local veterans. Being able to support veterans coming home from every single war is absolutely important, and we're very happy to be here and be a part of this.
Yeah, it's important to honor their sacrifice and the service that they made years ago, and show that we still appreciate what they do today. Yeah, it takes a little bit of coordination, but the lights and sirens help to escort the veterans where they need to go.
Welcome back from honor flight. What a day you've had.
What an amazing day. amazing, truly.
Did you know what to expect?
No, had no idea. You know, have heard on and off tidbits about it, but actually was not prepared. This is such a humbling experience. The massive amounts of people that were there for us. You're speechless. You're speechless.
You literally are.
Yes, I really am speechless. Every veteran that I know will receive a personal email from me telling them they have to register.
So you've become an evangelist for Honor Flight.
100%. Vietnam guys, man, they have their own story that none of us will ever be able to get close to. And even if I'm in, I can actually feel they emit their struggles or whatever they had to go through.
You can sense that.
I can sense that. I can sense it. Because one guy, he was kind of bitter in the beginning about being in Vietnam and going, nobody understands. And I know that nobody understands. We just don't. We just can't. But by the end of the trip, he was so soft. I mean, you could see where that, it didn't know it's never going to go away, but it subsided. It released itself from him.
So why should the Lansing community come out on a night like this?
It's a chance for us to say thank you to our servicemen and women. Most of them came home and didn't get recognized, either went right back into work or we ignored them during Vietnam, and Korea was pretty much the forgotten war. So this is our chance to say, hey, oops, we screwed up, let's welcome them home.
Honor Flight season is from April to October every year. One Wednesday during those months is Honor Flight Chicago, and whenever there's a Lansing veteran on one of those honor flights, typically the Lansing Journal finds out, we are informed, and then we publish information about that for the very purpose of getting the community out for these welcomes. Even if you don't have somebody on that flight, or you're not connected to one of those specific veterans, it is very meaningful for them to see the public, to see the community gathered at Sunrise parking lot, waiting to welcome them home.
Well, if you're a veteran and you have considered this and you're on the fence, we've talked to people who have maybe been hesitant about reliving something that they're not ready to, or just feeling like they're not worthy because they didn't serve in a traditional way during the Vietnam War era or something like that. We have never met a person who's been on honor flight who has regretted doing so.
Right.
They always come back with meaningful stories about experiences that changed them, that maybe gave them some peace that they didn't even know that they needed from something that they experienced years past. So consider doing that. We'll include some links down below for how you can get connected to the right people to explore that. And if you know someone who's on the fence, you can work with them and get them connected to the right people as well.
Right. Thank you, Lansing, for taking this little tour with us of a typical welcome home on Honor Flight night. And thank you to veterans for your service and for sharing your stories with us. We appreciate it, and we appreciate what you've done so that we can live in a community like this.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching today. We'll see you next week.